Okay, hi Aya, good morning to you and to anyone else who is watching. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mina and I'm a first year med student living in Los Angeles. And today I'm going to make you guys study with me because I'm taking class from home, so I can film it. And Aya, I know you're not pre-med, so you don't really care about that, but I'll try to give you some helpful study tips as well, okay? So let's get ready. Okay, since I'm taking class from home and the only people I'm gonna see are you guys, I'm not really doing much with my makeup for today. Hope that's okay with you. And now it's time for breakfast. Okay, so my first class is on the pathology of acute inflammation. And this is a 2-hour class, immediately followed by a second 2-hour class, which is gonna be really great and I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, done with lecture 1. We have a 10-minute break. But I'm gonna get a snack, Juju, is that okay? Can I get up? Sorry. Juno. I'm gonna sit back down. She's not used to me taking class from home because I try to go in person, so I think she's very happy that I'm here. I'm gonna make Juno her own snack plate as well because she's been keeping me company. She's been so good. This is my bag of Juno treats that I have. As you can tell, okay, Juno, you're gonna pull my shorts down. We're gonna start her off with some freeze-dried salmon. These are her favorite. Ah! Juno, patience, patience, like Stormy. Then I'm gonna give her some ahi tuna bites. Okay, let's give her 4 pieces of that. Then I'm gonna give her 1 freeze-dried minnow, which these kind of gross me out because I don't like the eyes. They kind of freak me out, like their eyes. Ugh! Okay, she's also gonna get 1 freeze-dried raw chicken heart. This is a dog treat, but I looked it up, it's totally safe for cats. Today we're gonna give her basil. She likes basil in the raw, but she prefers it to be microwaved to a crisp. Let's put a few of these on the side. Okay, so this is the finished product, and let me just give it to her now, because she is clearly very excited. Here you go. Now it's time for round 2, class 2, another 2 hours. This one's gonna be on T cells and adaptive immunity. Okay, finished my second lecture, which means I'm done with class for the day. That was a lot, I'm not gonna lie to you. And before I get up and do anything else though, I have my planner. I'm gonna write some stuff out that I need to do before I forget, since class is still fresh in my mind. Isn't this planner so cute? I really believe that when you're in the trenches with school, the little things that make you happy, they actually do matter. My brain is tired, so we're gonna decompress with like a super random fun fact that like actually has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. So did you guys know that tennis balls used to actually be white? Before 1970, yellow tennis balls used to not be a thing like at all, even though that's basically the only kind of tennis ball we would see now. So why did tennis balls change from white to yellow? A lot of it had to do with the fact that color television started to be like a lot more widespread, and basically white tennis balls were just hard to see in color television. Now the real curveball here is that this official change had a lot to do with David Attenborough, like the guy who narrates all your favorite nature documentaries. He was the one that went to the International Tennis Federation and was like, look, we need brighter balls, like people can't see the white. So that's when they started to make these like really bright fluorescent yellow tennis balls. So that official change happened in 1972 and sort of became the global standard, except for at Wimbledon, which was very determined to be traditional, and they stuck with the white ball until 1986, until they finally got peer pressured, I guess, into changing into the yellow ball. Another very iconic, and you wouldn't really recognize the tennis ball if it wasn't that color. So yeah, that's a fun fact for you that has literally nothing to do with anything. I just thought of it. Okay, I'm gonna go down to the gym and do like a super fast workout. I'm gonna bring my iPad and my Anki remote with me because, I don't know, I feel like moving helps me focus on like learning material faster and it keeps me awake. So I don't know, try it out. That might be a helpful trick for you. Alright you guys, it is 3 p.m. and I am feeling a little bit stir crazy. It is really nice to take class from home because I get to sleep in a little bit more and I get to hang out with Juno, but I need to move. So I'm gonna go to the mall and take a little break, and then I'll come back and do my actual studying. Okay you guys, I am back and I got myself some books. Decided to have a little treat yourself moment because I passed my first block exam, so I feel like I deserve it, right? Right. The 3 that I got today. The first one is Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. I've read one other book by Paula Hawkins, The Girl on the Train. That was like her big one. I think they made a movie out of it. Yeah, a major motion picture. Hell yeah, girl. Oh, second book, Stephen King, The Long Walk. And this one, I think, was recently turned into a movie. My last book is A Tide of Black Steel. And I actually have never heard of this one before. Okay, bless you. I love myself a fantasy book, so... But yeah, Aya and I are reading Red Rising right now, and oh my god, Aya, like, I literally just started it. I don't even... Yeah, like, I just got to part 2, so I only got through this much. And why is it so much like tea already? Like way too much has happened. Okay, I fear it's time to do some more work, so let's go do that. All right. I'm gonna bake some cookies because it's been a long day and I feel like I deserve it. Okay, while the cookies are in the oven, I thought I could give you some study tips or study strategies because I have been in school for like 18 years now. Something like that. So I feel like I have figured out what works for me and what doesn't. That said, there's no magic shortcuts, and there's definitely not like a single tool or like resource or website that you should use that's going to change your life, you know? These are just things that I figured out really do work for me. I think just generally, it's really important to learn how to take self-imposed deadlines seriously. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, as you get older, there's less and less people that are going to hold your hand and tell you exactly what to do and how to structure your time. And so you have to learn how to give yourself assignments and give yourself deadlines. Obviously, this is really important for structuring your study time and getting good grades for things like the MCAT, right? Where like, unless you pay someone, no one's going to tell you what to do. I just think it's also important to like learn how to take the commitments that you make to yourself seriously. On top of that, I would say study with friends or in a group when you're like 70% of the way through with your studying. You don't want to study with them in the very beginning of your studying because you don't know what you're talking about, no one else knows what you're talking about. That's just going to stress you out. And if you can help it, try not to study with people the night before an exam or the day of an exam, because inevitably someone is going to bring up something that you did not study or you don't know, and that's just going to stress you out and shake your confidence. And when you're that close to the exam, the best thing you can do for yourself is be well rested and be confident. And generally speaking, I think the real value of studying with other people is to, you know, gather intel, gather state secrets, figure out what other people are doing, how they're studying, what they're studying, and what you're missing. You can take that information, go home, and adjust your studying accordingly. Oh, if you can, turn your iMessage or like text notifications off on your laptop. Like, don't get in the habit of checking social media or checking your texts on your laptop. Save that stuff for your phone, because otherwise it just gets way too easy to get distracted while you're doing work. In terms of like overall exam prep, which could take like a couple weeks or just a few days, I like to start with passive studying and I like to end with passive studying, like a sandwich. So for example, I like to go back and just listen to my recorded lectures on 2x speed while I'm like cleaning or doing dishes or something like that. Doing stuff like that kind of lets you get an idea of like what the professor actually thinks is important and what overarching concepts they want you to take home. Oh, my last thing would probably be, I like to keep a paper planner or notebook with me rather than like a calendar on my laptop or phone, because you're not always in situations where you could just like pull out your laptop, because sometimes it would be rude to, or you're not allowed to, or it's whatever, you know? For example, if we ever have seminars or like guest speakers, we're not allowed to have any technology out, because they know that of course if we're allowed to have our laptops out, a med student is going to be doing their flashcards. So sometimes I'll just take out my notebook and totally not pay attention, but no one cares, even though I'm effectively doing the same thing that I would have been doing on my laptop. I guess it just comes across as less disrespectful to people, so people never will say anything or complain about you having a paper and pen. Oops. Okay, cookies are ready. Okay, while the cookies are still hot, you gotta hit them with a little bit of extra salt. I think it makes them much better. By the way, do you guys know the phrase, take it with a grain of salt? For people who aren't familiar or like maybe don't speak English as a first language, it basically just means like, don't take what I'm saying as 100% fact. But how did we get that meaning from take it with a grain of salt? I feel like that's not intuitive at all. Well, recently I learned where that phrase comes from. Basically, in ancient Rome, around like 70 AD, a guy named Pliny the Elder, what a title, created a book of antidotes to poisons, because obviously back then they didn't have medicine in the way that we do now. So it was literally like a recipe book, but for like antidotes to counteract poison. Anyways, one of the recipes specifically gave the instruction to take the antidote with a bit of salt, because I think it made it easier to swallow and made the antidote more effective at counteracting the poison or something like that. This is the phrase in Latin that was like included in the original recipe for the antidote. So initially the literal meaning was like, if you take this with a grain of salt, it'll make it less dangerous. But with time, the meaning sort of expanded so that now when we say take it with a grain of salt, what we really mean is like, take the information I'm giving you with a little bit of caution, approach it with some skepticism, take it with a grain of salt. Isn't that cool? We need to bring back poison antidotes. Alright, it's the end of the day. Honestly, I got a decent amount of studying done, but hopefully from this video you kind of saw that my life isn't all studying all the time by any means at all. Obviously things sort of ramp up a little bit more as we approach an exam, but at least as an M1, this was kind of like an average weekday for me. Anyways, TLDR, take the little goals that you set for yourself seriously, because that'll help you take your big goals in life seriously too. Sometimes you just gotta buy yourself some new books, because like, you gotta spend money to make money, right? I mean, you're a business major, like, you know that. But, you know, take everything I said with a grain of salt. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you're into that. I'll see you guys next Tuesday.